Uh-oh. New vials, new homes, new spiders. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, Dave from Arachnids back again. I didn't do an unboxing. I just did not have time for this. This was a very, very busy day for me. Anyway, we got some new stuff in from Palp Frictions. This is my brother's only, and I'll explain to you why. When we got our last order in, Alexandra sent Chris a Brachypelma hamori. But when it came in, the label was Brachypelma smithi. So she kind of we talked a little bit, and she felt that it was Brachypelma hamori, but when I did this order, she told me she was going to send me one that was definitely hamori, and just to be sure. So I talked to my brother and said, do you want this one, or, you know, this is what the deal is between this one and the other one, and he said he's going to take this one, and he's going to give me the last one, because if it is a Brachypelma smithi, I don't have one of those, and he does already. So if it ends up being hamori, well, then I'll just have 4 instead of the 3 that I already have. So it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, I had ordered some stuff because there were a couple teas that I've been looking for. They had them. There were some other things that I was looking at to try and get. I almost got a Grammostola Action, but I decided not to. Not this time. Maybe another time I'll pick one up. We have a show this weekend in Eerie, so who knows what I'll come up with there. But this was more or less like a freebie replacement, this guy here, because it was one of my top tarantulas, probably the top tarantula that I wanted, this one here. And I got one from them, and it didn't really thrive at all, and then it passed away. So Allie decided to send another one, which she didn't have to do, but that's the way they work. So they're such wonderful people. Anyway, so you probably want to know what we got. So this home here is set up, and yeah, this is one that I've been wanting for a while. Again, I had one before. Oh no, not this one. Sorry, this is not the right home. This is the home for this one. This guy goes in here. Anyway, this is another Phormictopus species. I've never had this one before. This is a Phormictopus auratus. So now Tom Moran, I have 2 Phormictopus, so I'm catching up. But I probably will. This will probably be the last one I pick up. This auratus. These are really, really colorful looking tarantulas. Pretty cool looking. I'm not 100% positive. These from Cuba, maybe? I can't remember. I'd have to relook that up and find out exactly where they are. But we got a Phormictopus auratus. I have no idea what the common name is. This is one that I've had before. I had a couple, actually 2 of them that. One sling that didn't make it past its first molt. I don't even think it never even came out of the molt. It tried, but it never did. And then I got one that was a mature male, and that is a Heterothele gabonensis. I don't remember the name of this one either, the common name. I know I had it written down, but these get like a really, really cool goldish purple. They don't get very big. It's a dwarf species, but it is a baboon. I think they're found in Gabon, in Africa. That's where they get their gabonensis from. This one's supposed to be real, real tiny. So it's going to go in this little tiny vial here. And hopefully we'll be able to get this one to grow into an adult size. So that would be kind of cool. I'd love to get a female of these because they're just absolutely beautiful. So now the one that goes in this home, this is another one that I've had before. It just didn't really thrive. I mean, it grew, it molted, but it just really didn't act like a normal baboon did. And this is the Pteronochelys cordatus. So I have had one of these before, so I wanted to venture into these again. These are like the blackish, goldish ones. They look like the Arusha that I had. These are really, really cool baboons. They're a little bit more laid back, and they live in Tanzania, I think is where, if you go to Bugs and Stuff, they just did a video on these in the wild and showed where they live in areas that get really, really super flooded, and how they protect their burrows by like mounds of grass. So they will dig them backwards into the mound of grass so that the flow of water kind of goes right over their burrow and really doesn't flood them too much. So it's kind of interesting where these are found and how they're found. So now I know a little bit more about them, and I know that they can sustain a little bit of moisture every now and then, so we'll probably try that and see what happens. So the Pteronachilus cordalis, I think this is the Kilimanjaro mustard baboon, if I'm correct. And then this last one, again, this is the Brachypelma homori. This is just going to go in here till Saturday. I'm going to give it to my brother, and he's going to give me the one that was labeled B. Smithy, and I'm going to say it's a B. Smithy until we know otherwise. And we won't know for a while because they are small. Again, this one was one at the top of my list for a long time. Again, the one that I got in just didn't thrive. This one's supposed to be around 1.5 inches to 2 inches, so we set this home up for it here. We're going to try and keep this one a little bit cooler, and I think that was the problem that I had with the last one, is that it was so warm here over the course of the summer that I just couldn't find a way to cool it off. So what we're going to do, now the temperature is going to be in the 80s, but we give this one a lot more room so we can figure out what it wants to do on its own and burrow where it wants to. There's a spot here you can see, and then in the back you'll be able to see the skull where it can go right into. So I'm going to get these guys in their homes, hopefully without any issues, and then I'm going to make dinner and eat, and then I will pick up the videoing and show these guys what they look like, hopefully in their home, and hopefully none of them try flying on me. The one I'm worried about the most is the Gabonensis, because they are super quick, and it's a really small, so it's like a dot, so you won't even know where it's at or feel where it's at. So we're going to do that in the big basketball enclosure, and hopefully it doesn't climb up my arm and escape underneath my... Actually, I'll probably do this one topless, so don't get too excited about that, but we'll probably do this one without a shirt so it doesn't crawl into my shirt and get lost in there somewhere. Yeah, so we'll come back here in a little bit, and I'll show you everybody's setups. We'll get some water dishes into these guys and get them ready to go. Okay, everybody, we got everybody rehoused. Everybody went in okay. Not too much of an issue. What we have is the Megaphoboma messamasalis here. You can see I made her 2 different places that she can burrow. I think we talked about this in the beginning there. Hopefully she's a she. She's looking real nice and pretty calm. I don't know which way she's going to go, what she's going to do, but we'll find out here real soon. Sorry about the camera work. I'm actually holding the camera to make it easier on me right now. But yeah, here's the Megaphoboma messamasalis. Nice close-up picture of her. We'll try feeding these guys in a few days. Let's get the next couple out. Okay, so here, if it will focus for us, is the little Brachypelma homori. You really can't see all that well, even if we put my hands there. It's just a sling, very small sling, roughly 1/2 inch to 3/4. Just in a 2-ounce deli cup, because this is temporary for it. We'll be moving this one over to my brother, and then we'll be getting the quote-unquote Smithy possibility sling. So we'll see how that works out, and let's get to the other couple. Okay, so here's the Phormictopus auratus, and this one already closed itself off. It's got a little opening on the top there, not very much, but closed itself off. This one did kind of look in pre-mold, but I'm not really 100% sure. I didn't really get a great look at it, so we'll find out soon, I guess. We'll leave it alone for a few days and then try to give it a feed. If it is all closed up, then we'll let it go until it opens itself back up, and then we'll try feeding it later. So this was the Phormictopus auratus, pretty simple, just a baseball cube and a piece of driftwood there as a starter for a burrow. We gave it a starter burrow there, which it just took right to, and I got about a little bit more substrate on this side than the other side, but this sling's only about 1 inch in leg span. Okay guys, here's the Heterothele gabonensis. I just talked to you guys for about 2 minutes, and I never pushed play. So yeah, I also did a whole entire clip of this earlier today, and when I went to upload everything, I realized that I must not have recorded any of that either. But this is just a quick, easy, simple setup for this one. Trying to see the spider it's right. The spider's right there. but we're not going to be able to see it because of the way the light's there in front of us, and then we're back here with the camera. So I actually didn't see the spider. There's the feet right there. You can see the feet. So it's been hanging out by the leaf. That's probably what it'll end up being and staying. So I'm sure it'll web that all in, but hopefully we'll be able to get this one fed up in a couple days. I'm going to give this one a couple days to throw some webbing down, and then we'll throw some fruit flies in there. And here is the Pteranochelys cordatus. Now, I originally had put it in a baseball cube, but it looked absolutely tiny inside there. Like it was just, the baseball cube was massive. So I decided just to throw it into one of these. This is, you know, the next size up from this smaller one. So it's got a molt or two in here, and then we'll give it something a little bit more permanent. I think I had the Marshalli and the Darlingi slings in one of these for a molt, and then I moved them into the baseball cube. So this one just looked a little bit too small for my liking in that baseball cube, not because of the size, but because of the air holes. I just didn't want it to escape in the vent. So this is where it's at. Okay, we're going to end here. What do you think that is in front of you? I know it's a tarantula, but it's a hardback book. Got this through Barnes & Noble. I was shipped here. It came Monday. I ordered it 2 weeks ago, so it took about 2 weeks for it to come in. I shopped on the Barnes & Noble site about 10 times trying to figure out what I wanted to get, and I finally decided what I wanted to get, and I went to order it, and they were out. You couldn't order it online anymore. And then the next two things that I wanted to get also you couldn't order online anymore. So I went to this one, and it's something different. I don't know how long this book's been out, but I don't think it's been out very long. You can see the author is Sandra Markle. It's not a very, very big book at all. It's pretty thin, you can see. It's got some very, very detailed pictures in it. It's got some very, very interesting facts. Some of them I don't necessarily agree with, but there's, you know, pictures of different names of things on the outside of the tarantula, and then this hits you. This is absolutely, to me, this is the highlight of the book. It's got some very, very interesting stuff here. It shows you really, you can understand the tarantula a lot better, starting with fangs injecting venom from the venom gland into the prey. The prey liquefies, the tarantula sucks it up through this. I would basically call that, well, I mean, this is a pharynx. This is the pump, basically, that pulls the liquefied prey through here and pumps it into the stomach here. And there's your sucking stomach. And it's got the digestive fluids in there, and that pump into the gut and then throughout wherever it needs to go. Some other interesting things you can see here is I'm pronouncing these things, Malpighian, right here. This is basically like a filter. It cleans the blood of wastes, and all that stuff will go through and then come out through the anus here of the tarantula. This is a female. This picture here, you can see the ovaries, and you can see I would call it the oviduct, and then the gonopore. I don't know that gonopore is the correct word for that. It may be, but I think a gonopore would be more for the male. Well, the male actually would deposit sperm on the sperm web, but I think this would be the oviduct opening. But it could also be called the gonopore. I have to check that out. So when the eggs come down, the spermathecae here is where the sperm is stored. And as the eggs are coming down through this tube, sperm is being mixed into the eggs and then dropped onto the web mat. And then she webs it all up. And I think that's where you get that orange fluidy look when they lay them. I think that's probably the mixture of sperm with the eggs and what the eggs actually develop into. So, but the book lungs here, you could actually understand why they're called book lungs. You can see the layers that filter oxygen. And you can see it goes through the body. And there's the heart. If you ever look at a tarantula on the back and you see that line straight down the middle, that's what that is. So you can see that. That means that your tarantula is probably close to molting because it's more visible. The skin is stretched a little bit more, so it's a little bit more translucent or a little bit more see-through. I don't want to say translucent because even a dark colored abdomen tarantula stretched, that's real shiny, you should be able to see that heart. And some of them you could see without them, just, you know, freshly molted. But it's pretty cool, and I like that. This is the real driving point of this book. I really enjoy this. I think this will help a lot of people. I think it makes the book a little bit more worth the money. The book was like about $30. I'm not quite sure that I would have walked into the store and walked out with this if I had $30 in my pocket to spend on a book. It's questionable, but I haven't read it all, so until I read it, I really can't pass judgment on it, because there may be a lot of things in there that I'm not seeing. And there's a collection of my dog hair. So I need to really read it, and then we'll do a complete review of this book. So we have this, and we have something really cool coming in. I hope to do the video for this one next week. There's only a few people that know about it, and I'm really super stoked about showing everybody this next week. So you'll have anticipation all week long, and you'll probably be saying, what is it? What is it? What is it? Like I said, only a few people know, and the people that do know is the person that's sending it to me, myself, and the admin team at the Tarantula Community Facebook group. They're the only ones that know. I think you people will like it. I really do. What little I've seen of it, I really like it. So she also said she was sending me a few gifts with it, so I honestly can't wait to see. I'm more excited about this than I've ever been for probably any order of spiders that I've ever got. This is a really cool. And it's really cool because we're going to do the review here, and we're going to promote this here on the channel, and she's going to promote the channel. Once this all sets, she's going to promote the channel on her site too. So I'm really looking forward to all this, and I know she is. So I think it's pretty cool. Daniel Button. Daniel Button is the first person that decided to be a patron of the Eerie Arachnids Facebook group. Yeah, not Facebook group, sorry. The Eerie Arachnids channel here on YouTube. I'm like in the midst of my sleeping pill. It's starting to take over me here. Yeah, thank you so much to him. Really cool. You know, I was wondering who the first person was going to be, and you know, the message that he sent me why he supported the channel was very, it was touching, really, and I appreciated it. And you know, he kind of just quickly in a 2-sentence paragraph, I guess you'd call it, right? Paragraph, 2 sentences. Anyway, just in a couple sentences, he explained why, and I really appreciated what he said. So if anybody else is interested in supporting the channel, I will link the Patreon. There'll be a link to my Patreon page down below. More work on the goals and tiers of different things, like, you know, shout you guys out on a video, or, you know, you guys get some exclusive looks from what behind the scenes and some other stuff, or some exclusive looks at some tarantulas that other people won't get a chance to see. We'll get all that stuff straightened out. I want to get the logo done so that we can have the merchandise line done too. So we'll get to that when that's all set and done, and then we'll really be rolling on that. So thank you to him, and you know, anybody else that's even considering it. You know, again, I'm not putting pressure on anybody, because I don't want to be that person that's saying please. But you know, if you're interested in supporting the channel, if you like the content, you want to see more, and you want to see things change and get a little bit better, you know, that would be the way to do it. So yeah, I mean, what else can I say? I still have the Tarantula tour going on. I'm really behind with that, but we'll get rolling again. It's just been hectic, and I'm probably going to wait till this weekend's over to do the next one, because we have an expo here in Eerie. It'll be the first one that we've had here in a year. The venue's changed. There's a lot more vendors. There's one exclusive arachnid vendor coming up from Pittsburgh, so I'm interested to see what he has and what kind of prices he has. I think I know him, not like, you know, personally, but socially online. I think I know who he is, but we'll find out. I'll talk to him, and we'll probably do a little video if he's interested in doing that, and kind of just go over some stuff that he's got there, and some quick clips of some other stuff that's at the the expo. So, yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to all you loyal people that have been watching. You guys are the reason that I do this, and the reason that I enjoy doing this so much is the feedback that I get and helping people. So, again, I hope you enjoyed what you saw earlier. Thanks again to Palp Friction for everything. Just wonderful people. So we'll see everybody soon, and happy keeping.